Do you know what's going on in that room? You know the one I'm talking about, the vacant one. The room you never go into. It might be a spare bedroom, an attic, a closet, a basement. Whatever space it might be, you never go in there. Not because you're afraid, certainly not because you think something odd might be happening on the other side of the door. Daily life takes you into the room on occasion, perhaps to deliver a set of folded sheets or a storage container of Christmas decorations. But you never really spend any time in there. Why should you? You walk by it often enough. Maybe the door is perpetually closed, or maybe you leave it open and glance in whenever you walk past. Each encounter in the room is purely ordinary. But then you start to wonder. You begin to think about it, casually at first. Perhaps you need to put new sheets on the guest bed, or perhaps the idea strikes you one morning while you sip your coffee that you really should get to organizing that space. It's a fleeting thought, passing you by like a road sign on your drive to work. But the next day you think about it again. You really should go in there, but you don't have time. Something else comes up. Oh well. You're in the middle of a shower or dishes. Soap and running water have your mind in another dimension. You think of that room again. You pause. Your hands continue to wash, but your previous trail of thought dissipates when you think of that room. It occurs to you that you haven't been in it for some time. For reasons you can't quite explain, a lurking uncertainty crawls down your spine and settles in your stomach. You think to yourself, what's going on in that room right now? Nothing. Of course nothing is going on in that room. What a ridiculous thought. You shake your head and focus on the feel of the suds on your skin that's suddenly grown prickled with goosebumps. An hour later, your feet take you to the room. You stall at the door. You don't walk in. You're being silly, stupid really, a total nut job. You decide you've watched too many horror movies in your life. You go back to what you were doing before. You lie awake that night thinking of that goddamn room. You roll onto your side and squeeze your eyes shut. It's just a room, a space in your home that remains void of human life. It's 4 walls, a floor, a ceiling. It's just a fucking room. But now you can't stop thinking about it. You roll over again, stare at the clock. You try to sleep, but the room lurks inside your mind. Its presence calls out to you from just down the hall or down the stairs. It's right there. Nothing is in that room, nothing. But it suddenly occurs to you that you're not sure. The only way to be absolutely sure is to go look. No, you're being ridiculous. You pull the covers up and roll onto your side. You try to sleep. Somewhere in the dark hours of the early morning, you fell into a fitful sleep. You dreamt of the room. What happened in the dream? You try to remember, but it slips from your memory like smoke through your fingers. You feel the room's empty existence still perched in the dark spaces of your mind when you get out of bed. Its presence grows larger as you stare at your reflection in the mirror while you brush your teeth. It's all you can think about as you kiss your partner goodbye. The front door closes, leaving you home alone. Except you're not alone. A sudden terror has you running toward the room, running so you don't lose your nerve. You have to go into that room, have to know for certain there's nothing in there. You reach the threshold, and before your fear takes hold and you talk yourself out of it, you burst in and the room is empty. It's just as you left it. You peek around the corners and skim through items. Nothing is out of place. No monsters under the bed, no words carved into the walls, no entities hiding in dark corners. You don't even feel a presence. No, it's just a vacant room. You walk out. You go about your day not thinking about the room. 1:48 a.m. You're thinking about that damn room again. This time you can't stop the flood of ideas rolling like a tsunami through your sleepless brain. In your mind's eye, you're standing outside the empty room. You imagine the silhouette of the demon portrayed in that one movie. The spindly outline of its long arms and clawed fingers stands in the doorway. Empty eyes stare at you. It beckons you in without words. Its insidious presence pulls you forward despite the terror taking over your very soul. You get up and sneak down the hall, one step after another. You don't want to be doing this, but you can't stop. You blink and you're stepping forward into the dark room. An entity shaped exactly like the creature from your nightmare dwells within. Its silhouette shifts. It's no longer a demon, but it's certainly not human. It's made of shadows. It flits around the room. One moment it's alien, then it's nothing at all. It turns to mist and you can't escape it as it comes streaming towards you. You scream but nothing comes out. The thing flows into your open mouth. It's inside you, turning your bowels to liquid. You wake, your eyes flying open as you shudder, clutching at sweat-slicked covers. Panting for breath in the aftermath of the nightmare, you glance at the clock. 1:49 a.m. You don't fall asleep again. Terror keeps you rooted in bed. You stare at blank walls, periodically flicking your eyes to the corners of your room as you beg for morning. The dark outline of your closet door stands there, terrifying you with its blackness. But you know it's not the closet that houses unseen horrors. It's that empty room. No, it was just a dream, just a fucking nightmare. Everything will be fine in the light of day. You tell yourself this, over and over, until the sun finally casts weak light into your bedroom. You're home alone again. Your hands shake while you drink your morning coffee and contemplate if you truly are alone. You turn the TV on and punch the volume up until the audience laughter of the sitcom drowns out the sinister feel of the silence wrapped around you. You spend the day moving from one distraction to another, keeping your mind busy and focused on anything other than the nightmare in the room. You will not go back into that room. You will not. By the time the sun is beginning to set, you think you've won. The experience of the nightmare has faded. You take a moment to breathe a contented sigh. Something dark flitters out the corner of your vision. You turn your head so fast it feels like you might have broken your own neck. There's nothing there, of course. You grip your sore neck and glance up at the lights. Perhaps they flickered. Dizziness overwhelms you in a sudden rush that nearly brings you to your knees. What is this? You tell yourself to get a grip. It's low blood sugar. You haven't eaten. There it is again. A black shadow just outside your vision. This time, it felt closer. You blink hard. This isn't happening. You just need some rest. You go to lay down, but you stop in your tracks. Something tugs at your back. A thought. A longing. The room is calling out to you. A sudden intrusive thought-turned compulsion makes you take one step and then another. Your feet are not your own. Deep down in the sinking pit of your stomach, you know what you'll find in there. You get to the door of the empty room and stop. You come out of your delusional reverie. This is all just your imagination. It's the lack of sleep, you tell yourself, your sweaty hand still wrapped around the doorknob. You peel your fingers off the knob one by one. It's time to get a grip. It's time to... A knock comes from the other side of the door. The handle twists. JJ Kimmorist here. Thank you so much for listening to this short story. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to stay up to date with other content from me, make sure you hit subscribe. I also invite you to join my reader community. Link is down in the description. It's totally free, and from there you get access to bonus stories, bonus videos, and a monthly newsletter from me. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments.